Hey everyone, this is our weekly lunch and learn, back to school without stressing out. Before we get started, I want you to know that this week, everyone listening will be in on our drawing for a Vitality Lemon, almost a $10 value. So if you're on Zoom, please say hey in the chat. If you're on Facebook, say hi in the comments. If you're new to these calls and you didn't register, make sure I have your contact info. If you're listening to the replay, contact me within the next week and let me know what you like best, because we'll be doing that drawing before the next class. So I want to begin by just welcoming you all here. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Dr. Nozella, Doctor of Education, and just super passionate about empowering others to achieve the quality of life that they desire. Professionally, I'm a director emeritus of a university urban extension office where I actually manage 2 federal nutrition programs for underserved audiences. I taught for over 15 years in the schools as a nutrition educator, and I'm a professor, a writer, a speaker, a researcher, and a consultant. And like most women, I struggle to live that balanced life. One thing I've learned is that I have to be intentional, even protective about taking care of me, and that means taking care of my body. I have to invest in myself because I believe my body is a temple of God, and I believe being proactive is important to support my body, which is designed to heal itself. So I also believe very, very strongly that we need to teach our children to care for their health so they can avoid some of the health challenges that we've had and we can actually maximize their learning experiences. I do want to say that some of the things I've learned from my years of teaching, and of course, my children are grown, so there are things that I've learned from my child rearing days, which are a little past for now. But as we enter this time of the year, again, when school is starting back up, many of us are really hoping for a new normal. And whether you're a parent, whether you're a grandparent, a teacher, a student, or you're just supporting our learners, this can often be a really stressful time as we kind of leave our more laid back summer routines and we get back into these more rigid schedules. Especially we've got a lot of people going different directions at the same time. And not only are the times stressful, but we also still have the uncertainties that surround our health and our safety, as we're still not totally out of this global health crisis. So there are a lot of things out of our control, but today I want to just share with you some ways that you can be proactive to prepare our children physically, mentally, and emotionally to have the best year ever. And today we're going to talk about some of the things that I found that have helped us to have a better school year as we've ended our summer, as I work with other parents. There's simple things that I've learned to help support our families and to help support our youth. But first, again, I want to stress that this is not intended to replace the advice of your healthcare provider or to diagnose, treat, prevent, or cure any disease. This is intended for educational purposes only. I'm a doctor of education and very passionate about empowering you to have all the information and resources that you need to take the best care of your health and the health of those you love, especially this next generation. Many of the things that I'm sharing here have been helpful for me. It's been helpful for parents, grandparents, and those that are working with youth in various settings, teachers and things like that. In the last few weeks, there has been so much time spent on getting ready for school, buying school clothes, getting school supplies. But let me ask you, have we considered investing in the overall health of our children and ourselves? Not just collecting health records and immunizations, getting all that stuff done, but actually setting things up to be proactive again and protect the health and wellness of our youth. Are we investing in our youth's health? And that's what I want to talk about today. As adults responsible for our children, we have to make some hard decisions. And sometimes we don't know that our decisions may be helping or they may be harming our children. But what I've done with a lot of research is found out that many of the personal care products that we're using, such as our vitamins, our supplements, they are formulated with really harmful chemicals and synthetics that can be extremely damaging to the body long term because they accumulate. They can cause developmental and hormonal problems, which is definitely something that we all want to avoid with our precious growing children. After this class, you're going to know better. And so the expectation is that we can do a little better. There's so much research on the harmful effects of many of the ingredients that we use in our everyday products. And I just don't have time to cover that today. That's a whole nother class. If you're interested in learning more, shoot me a note about that. But trust me, the products that we are using daily affect us physically and emotionally, which is why I'm excited to talk to you today. Every product that I talk about in this class, though, I want you to know I'm going to be referring, I'm just going to be upfront with you about products that are from Young Living. I want you to make a choice that's best for your family. So you make that choice. But I want to tell you the reasons why I really stick with the Young Living products. Okay, so just bear with me a second so I could tell you why. One of the main reasons is because I know that they make all of their products without the use of harmful and synthetic chemicals. I've done other classes on this, as I mentioned before. Don't have time to really get into this as much today, but it is really important that you understand that. One of my favorite sources in some of the research I've done has been some of the research that Harriet Washington has done on some of the terrible things that are happening in our environment with our children and how it's affecting their learning ability. But anyway, just trust me that the products I talk about today are pure, because quality really matters, okay? Pure, high quality products are more effective and they create lasting results, which is exactly what we really want. And so that's why I trust Young Living more, because they have this seed to seal. They create products for a purpose, not a product. And that seed to seal promise is proof that you know you're getting the best. They own their own farms. They also have partner farms, but they make those farms abide by the same rules and standards. I am an urbanite, okay? And I can't be in nature. So I like the fact that I know I'm getting products that are directly from nature. They go above and beyond even the organic standards to provide natural products that work. Their farms are on land that doesn't use pesticides. They hand weed their fields. They test extensively their essential oils, not just themselves, but they also have outsiders that come in and do the testing. And if a batch doesn't match their standards, they don't use it. They don't sell it to you. You can check out more on this at seedtoseal.com, but I just want to be upfront with you because that's very important. The quality is important when we talk about some of these things. Now, let's also talk a little bit about how you use them and how to be safe with them. One of the best ways to use the oils is with a diffuser, because it really has a positive effect on your emotions, which are key when we're talking about our children. If kids need a little emotion and focus to get their homework done, and they need something calming to get their actions to match the atmosphere, oils are really going to be their best friend in a diffuser. Okay, let me just give you just a short science lesson. When you inhale the oils, the essential oil molecules travel through the olfactory bulb. They trigger your limbic system in the center of your brain, and they stimulate the amygdala, and it's kind of in the back, okay? The amygdala is the integrative center of all your emotions, your emotional behavior, and your motivation. And this is why diffusing oils is effective and efficient in helping to support positive moods for you and the kids. And on more than one occasion, I tell you, I've been around like a fussy child or something, and all I've done is sometimes not even my child. I put just on a calming essential oil on my hands and just kind of wave it around. It's interesting how the child just kind of calms down. Or if I was in a class that was really struggling to kind of settle down, I put calming essential oils in my diffuser, and guess what? The kids would just kind of focus and we would get moving. Now, the other thing about the oils is you can use them topically, and simply just putting the oil on topically is another way on the reflex points. Some specific points in your ears, your hands or feet are linked to certain emotions and systems and organs in the bottom in your body. And stimulating these points really helps the associated emotion and the systems. For example, the Vitaflex point for the brain is the thumb of your hand or your big foot, big toe on your foot. And so try it. Just apply a favorite oil and just massage your thumb. I like to use Genius or Brain Power sometimes. Really, really, really helps. Other places that are critical to apply is you can put it on the back of the neck or on your wrist or even just a drop on your head. No matter where you apply it, they absorb into your skin and you're just good to go. Keep in mind, anytime that you might be using one of the essential oils for the first time, you might want to dilute it with a carrier oil, like a grapeseed oil, like coconut oil, almond oil, and apply it to your forearm first to see how you respond. If it makes your skin red, you either need to dilute it a little bit more or just avoid that when there's several you can choose from. And every person, every child responds differently. So be sure that you kind of test a little with each one as you're using it. Now, the other thing that excites me about Young Living is you can use their oils internally because they are pure. So the Young Living internal dietary line is called the Vitality line, and it's rated, generally recognized as safe or GRAS, which is the standard that the FDA sets that allows us to be able to ingest the oil. So the Vitality line will always have a white label. The regular oil will have the solid label, but keep in mind, it's the same oil inside the bottles, but we want you to be sure that you know which ones can be ingested, okay? But always use your own judgment on the age of the child, things like that when you talk about ingesting oils. Oftentimes we just put a drop in water or something like that. Okay, ready? Let's get started. Let's talk about some routines that really can be helpful when you're working with this season, when we got a lot of people trying to get around and get out and get going at the same time. Our routines are kind of changing. So we get up in the morning, we've had a good night's sleep, and we'll talk about sleep a little bit later on. And we'll also talk about some of the personal products that you use during the time that you're getting ready. But for now, let's just talk about getting the morning off to really good start with nutrition, which you've heard a lot about. Because you want to make sure that the good nutrition that they're getting is going to support their total body. So you want to start them off with that nutritious breakfast. And breakfasts can be super, super stressful. Okay, that's why we grab, things like Pop-Tarts and things like that. But I wanted you to know that Young Living does provide some great breakfast options that you can look at. They use an einkorn granola and an einkorn cereal, and putting that with a piece of fruit can be a great option. It's a whole grain, it's filling. There's also some nutritious pancake and waffle option. You can enjoy their gluten-free pancake mix if you want to be a little more creative. But keep in mind that the einkorn grain is an ancient grain, and it has a higher level of protein, which is really important, very sustaining, trace minerals, and real low gluten levels than the hybridized kind of modern wheat that we use. It's not processed. The grain that we use now has more high sugar options, and the cereals, of course, we know are really high sugar. So you kind of want to avoid those for the breakfast. But also keep in mind that you want to help their digestive system to function properly. So using something like the Mighty Pro Pre and probiotics is great. I mean, it tastes like candy. It's easy to use, but gut health is so important for healthy emotions and the ability for them to be able to absorb nutrients. It's true for us as well. Of course, you want to give them their vitamins, but you don't want to give them synthetic vitamins, okay? So if you're worried about whether they're going to get enough veggies, what they're going to eat at school, Young Living has vitamins that are formulated without any dyes, without any synthetic ingredients, and they're found that you usually will find in children's synthetic vitamins. They won't have any of that in there, which is what I love. And their Mighty Bites are chewable, And they have a special formula, Organ Kids, which is a nutrient-dense, food-based superfruit, plant and vegetable complex. So the vitamins free of preservatives and artificial colors and flavors, super delicious, berry flavored chewables. They give your child a full nutritional support. You can send them off for the day. And then also, of course, we need the enzymes, right? There's one for children, it's chewable. And let me tell you something, adults can do these too. So if you want to do a chewable one, it is a great way to get your enzymes in as well. And you just take one with your meals, okay? And also, let me tell you, you can use these chewables for relief for occasional symptoms such as the fullness or pressure that you might feel, or bloating, or that kind of stuff feeling, commonly known as gas, or any pain or minor cramping that might occur when you're eating. So it's really helpful for that. And of course, for a busy family, you'll definitely want to be sure everybody gets 1 to 2 ounces of your Ningxia Red. That's just the powerhouse. The Ningxia Red, so packed with superfoods, supports your overall wellness. This antioxidant packed drink supports energy levels. It supports your normal cellular function, the whole body, and normal. It also supports eye health. And just a daily shot of 2 to 4 ounces helps support your overall wellness with very powerful antioxidants. So it's just an awesome way to start off the day. Okay. Now, back in the day, keep in mind that what we used to do when we thought about our health, we would wait until we didn't feel good, right? And then we just start taking a bunch of stuff, okay, to help us feel better, right? That's not what we want to do. Remember, I talk about being proactive. And that's what I really like about essential oils, because they are the best and easiest way to be proactive so that you stay above the wellness line. You don't wait until you're under the wellness line to start doing something. You stay above the wellness line. You'll stay healthier all school year long. So you will find that they will have less days where they have to be out. When we have someone that's not feeling good or below that wellness line, that causes a lot of stress, right? It upsets our whole schedule. So if we can avoid that, why not do that? So let me tell you just a few secrets that parents, teachers, and anyone around kids has really found to be very helpful. Remember that essential oils can be applied topically or used aromatically to support your overall health. Okay, so you're using these oils to do these. And if you use them every day, instead of just waiting until a problem happens, the oils help you maintain your health, help the children keep above the wellness line. I know nothing is really foolproof, okay, right? So occasionally they may get something, and I'm excited about that because the Young Living has our Thieves cough drops, which are really the most effective cough drops. And again, they don't have any of the synthetic things in them that are really not going to be very helpful for them. I will tell you, here are some of the popular oils that you can just have on hand, use every day, apply every day, just to keep above the wellness line. Some are listed here. I also like to add frankincense in there, bergamot, eucalyptus. You pick your favorites, okay? And you can see this, what you see on the screen here, the Thieves, the lemon, the peppermint, and the lavender, equal amounts. You can just put in a roll-on and create that wellness roll-on. The child can carry it with them, just kind of rub it on the, keep it with you. You could keep it in the car with you all the time. And it's just a good way to stay above the wellness line. I just love it because we really are being proactive. One of the things about school is it can be pretty rough for people. It's a lot of excitement in it, but there's also just a whole lot of anxiety. So the best way to kind of combat stress quickly is to use your essential oils. Remember, when you inhale essential oils, those tiny molecules go deep into the brain, straight to the places that help you manage your emotions. And one of my favorite trick sometimes is to apply it to diffuser jewelry. And there's little lava stones on the jewelry, and the oil just kind of absorbs with it. And so you or the child can always be wearing that throughout the day and just put 1 or 2 drops on it. They make it as bracelets. They have some necklaces. It's pretty simple to do. And if you're new to oils and you aren't sure which ones to try first, here are just a few. Let me tell you just a few of my favorites. I mean, like lavender or stress away, frankincense again, and then valor is one that just really gives a boost of confidence. And always the peace and calming is just really relaxing, and helps you to be settled and a little more grounding. Vetiver is another one that's really good. There's even a kit, a feelings kit, if you're interested and you're finding that the child is having a lot of trauma and things, that you may want to look into getting for that child. But just taking that time to teach them to breathe in and out, and to calm down, and the oils really help to do that. Now, we also need to make sure that we got to focus, right? Okay, focus on what we want to happen, focus on the win. And whether it's during school or whether it's afterward, they're learning so many new concepts. They need to be able to focus on whatever task they're doing. So teaching them how to use a roll-on or oil to help them focus is another way that's awesome. Of course, running the diffuser while they're doing homework will really help them. But this particular focus recipe, I think, is really great because it has vetiver, has a lavender in it, and it has cedarwood in it. You can also make this as an inhaler. I know sometimes in classroom or different places, you can't have the oils for others to smell, but when you make a personal inhaler, you get the benefit from the oil without offending anyone that's around you. And if your school doesn't allow your child to keep their essential oils in their backpack or at their desk or something, you can talk to your school nurse about it. Many of them are willing to cooperate with you and then have the child go to them throughout the day or once a day, or try to put, again, a drop onto their diffuser bracelet, their jewelry, and that way they're getting the benefit of the oil throughout the day. There's some other oils that are just so helpful. I mean, like lavender, genuous, lemon, peppermint, cedarwood, rosemary's great. We talked about brain power at times. All of these are just excellent. Let me just give you a bonus tip. Play around with the different oils to see which may be most effective. Every child responds differently. And sometimes it's just fun to ask the child, let them kind of smell it and see which one they really like. And also use some of the focus oils with the Stay Calm oils, because you'll get kind of an extra effect. And then remember to diffuse or apply lemon to the bracelet during study time. Again, lemon works really well using it during tests. One teacher talked about how just using lemon helped the children to remember the information a little better when they used it, when they were learning the information, and then when they used it when they needed to recall. Of course, we've also seen some research on the use of peppermint in helping with alertness during study time. So it's just awesome. And we're getting more and more information in the research as we look at how simple it is to use the oils in helping with our children. Now, of course, we have to talk about the sports, because when school starts, we know we have all the different sports activities that start up. Some people had them all during the summer, and now they're still going into the school year. But there's also those strains and those sprains that are commonly occur during the sports season. And most people sometimes only know about over-the-counter medications. But again, those medications can have some long-term damaging effects on your child's body. I cannot stress that enough. So instead, try the safe, effective over-the-counter. We have a cool pain cream. Doesn't have any other chemicals in it that are synthetic. It provides kind of a cooling relief for minor muscle and joint aches, for arthritis, for strains, for bruises, for sprains. And it just takes a little. That's the other thing I like. You can apply it as often as you want. And it also works if child is kind of experiencing some growing pains. But think about too, the long practices, the games, the tournaments. they're going to need some muscle relief. So having that with you is going to be helpful. Now, another thing that's really easy to use is to kind of dilute 1 or 2 drops of Panaway and Copaiba, and that kind of relieves a lot of the discomfort that they may be feeling during their sports time. There's some other choices. There's Ortho Ease massage oil, Ortho Sports massage oil. Just a lot of options for you as a parent to work within what works for your family and the youth that you're working with. But nothing says get ready for school like having a good night's rest. And as I told you, we'd come back to this because the night's rest, the sleep is crucial. Routines are important for us and really important for our young people. When you have a routine, you're less likely the kids are less likely to resist the bedtime. They're more likely to fall asleep, and there's less anxiety within the family, and they're more likely to stay asleep during the night. I think Young Living makes it really easy to kind of have a safe and effective bedtime routine because, again, you're eliminating some of the toxic products that are going to have long-term damage on the health. So you can start with the bath, and you've got a bath gel that's just wonderful, and it doesn't have any harmful chemicals in it. Once they get ready and using a lotion that doesn't, again, have any harmful chemicals, using a little lavender lotion and applying like one of the calming oils, like a Peace and Calming on their feet, or Stress Away or lavender on their feet before they go to bed. You know that you're not putting on any mineral oils, you're not putting on any synthetic perfumes, they're not getting any artificial coloring, no toxic ingredients. You're not doing anything, applying anything that's going to be harmful is so very important. Even with brushing the teeth, you want to use a toothpaste that doesn't have harmful chemicals in it. Many of the toothpastes have triclosan in it, and that's a really harmful chemical that the FDA banned from hand soaps. And so what you want to do is read the label of your toothpaste. If it says do not ingest, don't swallow it, then you probably don't want to be using that. Okay, we have a toothpaste that doesn't have any of those kind of chemicals in it. They're really, really safe. And then, as I said, you're getting ready to turn the lights out, use your diffuser. Diffuse, Sleep-Ease or diffuse lavender, which really helps them as you're teaching them to breathe and pray and calm themselves down during the night so they can have a wonderful, wonderful rest. And I like it because Young Living has some wonderful diffusers, the Feather Owl, there's Dino Land, there's a Dolphin Reef. Actually, I use the Feather Owl. I really like it because often the diffusers have different settings, and so they can run almost from 10 to 12 hours intermittently for you. They have some different light options. The Owl even has some white noise that might be helpful for those that have trouble sleeping. And then, I really want to talk a lot about how important it is that you are replacing your household cleaning products. Again, a whole nother lesson, just how much harm we are doing to ourselves and to our children because of the products that we are using in our home. And Young Living has a thieves line of cleaners that is just so amazing. It's so cost effective that one bottle that you see there will replace, I would say, almost all of the cleaners that you are using. And they're so safe. They can safe around your children. They're safe around pets. And the Thieves line, they now have dishwashing, hand washing soaps, all of these things. You'll really want to be sure that you are replacing that as you're using those cleaners in your home, because your environment and the toxins that are in your environment really do affect the health of yourself and the children. And again, those toxins build in your system, causing some long-term problems that you don't want to have. So let's just talk just a little bit. I mentioned that we would talk about the premium some ways that you could really save. And so we have a couple of premium starter bundles. And I like that because many of the oils that we have talked about, you can get bundled. And in fact, in the premium starter bundle, you're going to get 10 to 11 oils with all these things in it at 60% off. That is a huge, huge savings there. You have the one that you see on the right with the Desert Mist diffuser. You're going to also get a couple of packs of the Ningxia Red. You're going to get your hand sanitizer. You're going to get a Thieves spray that you can spray instead of that terrible Lysol stuff that people are using that's so toxic. Or you can get the Kid Scent Little Oilers Premium Starter Bundle. It has that feather owl diffuser that I love, and it has snifflies in it, sleepies, it has owie, it has genuines, tummy wise. It has all those oils that may support your child's health during the year, and just a really fun and very cost-effective bundle. So I just want to briefly tell you how to get just the best buy. It's easy to get these essential oils. It's easy to get the supplements just by going to naturallynozella.com. Just hit shop, okay? Or I'm going to show you a QR code that you can go to, and very easily you can hit that. I do want to let you know that also you can unlock the 24% discount in two ways. If your first order is like 100 PV, you unlock that 24% discount for the whole year. And if you also decide that you want to go on our loyalty rewards program, you put something on that, then you unlock that 24% discount all year long, depending on, and you decide what you want to order at that time. I just want to say thank you so very much for being with me today. Here's the QR code that you can take a picture of. Here is the link, naturallynozella.com/school, and that'll take you to the products that we talked about today. If you really want to consult with me, and we actually put together a personalized plan for you and for your family that would help you make sure that you're getting those products that are going to be just for you and what you need, and also have someone that can really help coach you along the way. Please take a picture of this QR code, scan me, and set up a time to do a consult with me. And right now, you can get that consult for only $10. And if you put in the code summer special, just put in the code summer special, and you'll get that discount off of the $50 scans, which they normally are. I want to thank you so much for spending your time with me. We are looking forward to having a really good school year. When we know better, then we do better. And it's so important for our children. It's so important to help them start off the year right. It's so important to eliminate the toxins from our environments so that we don't continue to damage their mental, their physical, and their emotional health. So I want to thank you so much for being with me today. Again, if you're on the call by Zoom, if you're on the call by Facebook and the Facebook group, if you're on the call, the replay, make sure that I have your information, because we'll enter you in our drawing, okay, that will be giving away a free oil. Well, thank you all so much again, and have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week.